Hello, welcome back everyone. Today I'm super excited to show you how to make this beautiful hand-painted watercolor wrapping paper. So I got this idea not that long ago. I love to make watercolor postcards and watercolor greeting cards, and I like to give them out to my family and friends during the holidays, birthdays, etc. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to also make hand-painted wrapping paper to go along with my hand-painted cards? Here are some examples of the papers that I've made. Here's an example of a little gift that I've wrapped with my paper. Some of these are inspired by Japanese patterns and motifs. Others are more geometric. Others are more abstract. You can make this in all kinds of colors and patterns and shapes and use it for different things. I personally love it when people give me gifts wrapped in beautiful paper. I usually save it and I use it to wrap other things and to decorate like scrapbooks or sketchbooks or things like that. So I thought, why not? Why not try to make hand-painted paper? And I love the result. I love this type of paper. It is very crinkly. I don't know if you can hear that. I just love the crinkles. I love the sound of it. I love how it feels. This paper is called rice paper, but it is not made out of rice. It's actually made out of wood pulp. And I'll show you the materials that I used, and I'll show you a few pieces of inspiration on how you can make this. So let's start with the actual paper and the paint that I used. This is the rice paper. It is made in Japan. This one particularly is produced by Daiso Japan. It is a Japanese dollar store actually. In Japan, everything costs 100 yen at this store. Outside of Japan, it costs a little more. I'm in the United States. There's a few Daiso where I live. Everything is around $1.99. So this pack of 60 was $1.99. Now, if you don't live in an area where you have a Daiso nearby, then you can get it online. They do sell it on Amazon. I'll link below. You can get something similar, or you can get this one. I believe it goes for $9-ish, give or take, on Amazon. So it's a bit more expensive, but it's 60 sheets. This is really thin paper, so it will last a long time. 60 sheets is a lot. So it's actually not a terrible deal, even if you get it a little more expensive. There's different brands, different weights. I use this one. It works really well for me. It is natural color. It's like a beige color. It's not white. I really love that natural color. It gives it that kind of handmade look. I really love it. For paints, I'm using Kuretake, Gansai, Tambi paints. These are traditional Japanese paints, watercolor paints. They come in a pack like this. And the binder on these paints is a bit different than the Western paints. These have animal glue as the binder. So they're actually permanent. Once it dries on this paper, it becomes permanent. So if you were to get this wet, the paint will not run. It's stuck there. It's not gonna go anywhere. So it works really well, these paints, with this paper. In order to keep the Japanese motif or theme, I'm using this calligraphy brush, which I've been using in the last few videos. I'm feeling very inspired by Japanese things lately for some reason. What I've done to create those different patterns, it depends on the day really, how if I'm feeling inspired. This pattern right here is inspired by a Japanese pattern that's really common, and you will see a lot in different Japanese designs. I have another video that I posted a few days ago around how to make this watercolor thank you postcard with this pattern. So I thought it would be such a cute idea to actually create the wrapping paper to go with this greeting card. So if you were to give this gift to someone, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? It's more than just a gift. It's also the thought that went behind it. I think it's so thoughtful, and it just looks like something really special, not something that you bought in the store. I'm gonna actually link the the link to this video at the end of the current video. I'm gonna put the link to this video, how to make this card, if you wanna learn how to do that. And you'll also learn how to draw that design, which you can do it in any color on this paper. This is also inspired by another Japanese design for this fabric that I bought while I was in Japan. They're just circles, and I can show you how to make that. This is more abstract. I was feeling very like doing an intuitive painting, and I just like splashed different colors. I had a lot of fun painting this one. These are kind of like clouds, also inspired by Japanese design. And this is a really simple, just straight lines, really simple. If you don't know what to draw on the paper or paint, like just go with straight lines. So there's all kinds of things you can do. Sorry, in order to keep the patterns somewhat symmetric, I did use templates. And by templates, I mean anything that will help you keep the shape that you're trying to make. So this is actually the lid of an oatmeal container, like literally just the oatmeal you eat in the morning for breakfast. And I took out there was like a cardboard here, and I'm just using this piece of plastic as a template to keep my circle straight. They also sell templates like this on Amazon, where you have like different circle sizes, and you can use that as well. You can also just use a ruler to make the straight lines. I'm just gonna like use this bookmark as a ruler. So I'm gonna show you really quickly how to make a couple of the designs so you can see how it works. So I'm gonna show you how to make those circles. I'm just gonna pick up some of this kind of cool red. And one thing about this paper and these paints that I should mention, which is important if you're gonna go with rice paper, is that water control is very important. So this paper bleeds quite a bit, and it takes a bit of testing to get it right. So I wanna show you what I mean by that. So if the paint is really watery, so I'm gonna put a lot of water on my paintbrush right now, it's just soaking wet. And you try to follow that template, it will bleed. So if you see all this feathering here, it doesn't look great, right? So if you grab more paint and less water and do the same thing, your circle is going to look a lot cleaner and a lot better. It's not gonna smudge like that. That's what happens when you have too much water. So that's really the only thing you have to keep in mind when you're using this type of paper is don't go overboard with the water. Just put more paint than water. And if you do put a little bit more water, then it doesn't really matter. This is meant to be something fun. It's just wrapping paper, right? It's something that's transient, that's temporary. It's not like a permanent thing, and it's not a work of art that you're gonna hang on the wall. So don't strive for perfection. Just strive to have fun and make it look organic and just enjoy the process. I do this because I enjoy it. It's just enjoyable for me. It makes me happy. So literally I just made 2 lines of circles, and now I'm gonna put a circle that's gonna intersect 4 of the circles. And I'm just playing with my template here. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's meant to be handmade. It's meant to look handmade. You don't want it to look manufactured. I actually like the imperfections. It makes it look like, it makes it have character. If it's too perfect, it doesn't have character. It doesn't look painterly. And then I'll grab some paint, and I'm just gonna make dots. Wherever there is kind of the center of one of the circles, you will make a dot. It doesn't have to be a perfect dot. it can be a perfectly imperfect dot. And that's it. Literally, as easy as that. That's a pattern. And just keep doing that until you fill the page. And you'll get something like this. Fun. To make blinds, I'm just using this bookmark as a ruler so that I can keep my line straight. And I literally just pick up some paint and use the bookmark as my guide to keep the line straight. And just keep doing that until you have a pattern. And that's how I make the lines. You can maybe put little dots, make a pattern that way. So all kinds of patterns you can make. And then these kind of like waves that I use for that greeting card. I'm just gonna grab some indigo blue paint. I'm gonna paint them on this side. You wanna start in the bottom of the page and just make little semicircles, and then connect the semicircles with other semicircles in the middle. So basically connect middle of a semicircle to the other middle of the semicircle, like that. And just keep doing that until you have the page full. And then after that, just make the inner semicircles. Make 3 or 4 semicircles in the middle. And that's it. And I think I'm going to be trying out for myself different patterns and seeing what else I can come up with. These are just kind of the first few that I was dabbling with. And I hope to delight some of my friends and family with this wrapping paper and my hand-painted greeting cards. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this, product supply reviews, and other watercolor tutorials. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Take care.